Alright, it's Valentine's Day this week, and we're going to make a drink for the ladies. It's called Maker Warmer, and the first ingredient is hot chocolate. For your hot chocolate, you're going to need a quart of milk, 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. You can either use chips or a baking bar. Ghirardelli's comes in 4 ounce, so we're going to need 2 of those. Each bar here is an ounce, so we've got 8 of those, and our quart of milk. You're going to do this on medium to low heat, 3 or 4 on your electric skillets, stove tops. Add our milk. That heat up a little bit. Add a few bars of chocolate, maybe half of it to start. What you want to do is make sure you whisk this as soon as it gets warm. So that it does not overheat. You do not want to boil your milk in this scenario because that will ruin it. When this little bit of steam starts rising, you will continue to whisk evenly until all the bars are melted. When your milk starts to warm up, you'll notice the chocolate starts to melt a little evenly. You can put all the chocolate in the beginning, but it makes it easier for me to stir it. If you have a larger pot, that's no problem at all. You can put it all in, but it does make it a little easier to stir at the beginning. You can feel how it's going here. With the whisk, we've got a little more room in there. I'm going to put the last of the chocolate in. Shouldn't take very long to melt. It's a nice thing about the baking bars. They're not a real high temp melt. You'll just go ahead and stir this till everything's melted. If you start to see steam rise off, you'll know you're at the right temperature for the hot chocolate. If you see any bubbles where it starts to boil, just remove the whole pot from heat. You do not want this to boil. Once everything's melted, you'll have your hot chocolate ready to go. Get it to a nice warm temperature. And we'll show you how to make the rest of the drink. Alright, for the Maker Warmer Valentine's Day special, we've got the rest of our ingredients here. After making our hot chocolate, we're going to need berry liqueur, Godiva chocolate liqueur, our Maker's Mark. Of course, it's a winter drink, so it's got its sweater on. Some whipped topping. And of course, Valentine's Day, you're going to need some roses. Forget everything else. Flowers are good. Start with 6 ounces of the hot chocolate. Pour that into a mug. Going to add 1/2 ounce Godiva chocolate liqueur. This drink came to us from our good friends at Barrel on High. First learned about this on a Maker's Mark pub crawl. Next, we're going to use 1/2 ounce of the berry liqueur. Pour that in there. One ounce of Maker's Mark. It's always good to use an 8-ounce mug for this drink, because if you don't, you're going to have a little bit spill. fill that up. Finally, we're going to add the whipped topping to top it off. And if you do this just right, she'll probably forget all about that 50 Shades of Grey movie and take you to John Wick. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video as we have some upcoming highlights for next week and some instructions for next week's drink. Okay, we've got some bacon here, and this is in preparation for next week's video. We're actually going to infuse a liter of Maker's Mark with bacon. The process for that is to take 4 ounces of grease from fried bacon. Thanks to Dave and Davey, my buddies down at the Whole Foods at Easton. The meat department down there got me some really good dry rub bacon with no pepper or anything like that. You want just plain bacon. There are absolutely 2 things you must remember to do when you're infusing this. First, remove 4 ounces of bourbon from the liter. That's absolutely necessary. You don't want to spill bourbon and grease all over everything. And the second is to make sure the grease cools. I'm not going to pour this straight in here. I'm going to pour the grease into a measuring cup, let it come down to about room temperature. You don't want it to solidify, of course, you want it to still be able to pour, but I will be letting it cool. I'm going to edit the video a little bit. You'll see that it goes straight from the frying pan to the measuring cup. There's going to be some editing, and then it's going to be poured into the liter of Maker's Mark. Again, it's 4 ounces of grease per liter, not per fifth. 4 ounces per liter of Maker's Mark. This bacon looks just about perfect. I'm going to pull it off. Before I do that, I think I'm going to get this 4 ounces of removed bourbon out of the way. I don't want to start a alcohol-fueled grease fire here. Oh, the best part about this, you get bacon. Man, this is really good bacon. It's about a ½ pound of bacon here. So far 4 strips. I'm going to see if that gets us 4 ounces. Looks like it should be right there. I'm going to strain this. It's not necessary. You may want a little thicker bacon flavor in there. I just don't want to have particular parts floating around in there. Let's see. It might not even be enough. Right at 4 ounces. That's perfect. Get a little bit more. Now I did ask for some fattier bacon. It was good that they had that in the case ready to go. Again, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to let this bacon cool just a few minutes, but it's going to look like I'm pouring it right into the bottle. Alright, it's only been a minute or 2. I think the bacon should be cool enough. You're going to definitely want to get a trusty funnel. If you don't have one, you can find them at a lot of cooking aisles in the grocery store. Nothing major. I wouldn't use the one from your garage. It's a very good idea. But that's the funnel there, just a little one. Alright, remember I've taken 4 ounces out of this and I have let it cool. Both important steps in the process. I don't know if you can see me pouring this right in. It's amazing how it matches the color of it. There is still a little sediment in the bottom here, even though I've let it filter. A lot of that will be caught in the bottom of the measuring cup or the filter, the funnel, I'm sorry. I had 2 extra slices of bacon here. That's what's sizzling in the background. So you see 4 ounces are gone. Out of the way. My wife will kill me for greasing up her stove. See, it's got a little viscosity in there. I don't know if you can see that. Just want to make sure that lid's on tight. Give it a shake and a flip. Now, the reason I'm doing this on the end of this video, this infusing process does take about 6 days. 7 for good measure is what we're going to give it. Shake it up. Pretty awesome. Now that's going to go in the fridge. We're going to put this liter in the fridge for 6 days. Once a day, you're going to want to get that out and shake it. If you want to just get it out and look at it, more than once, it's not going to hurt anything. But at least once a day, you're going to want to shake that up. This is the first step in infusing Maker's Mark with bacon.